local restaurant when suddenly you spot Sarah, your child's beloved kindergarten teacher, hustling between tables, balancing trays of food. With a master's degree in tirelessly shaping children's futures in Charlotte, North Carolina, she still struggles to make ends meet. Sarah's reality, living paycheck to paycheck, isn't unique. It's a bright reflection of a societal imbalance. Many people working respectable jobs take other employment to sustain themselves and their families because their current work doesn't provide enough. Over the years, the economy has divided people into two groups: the fortunate few and the many who struggle daily. It became the tool of manipulation that allowed specific individuals to use the system to their advantage. The situation isn't just about financial challenges. It reflects a society where the game's rules have shifted. Viewing the economy as an instrument to enlarge the finances of a handful of people doesn't make the world a better place. On the contrary, recognizing that the system is constantly evolving will allow the masses to participate and change the course of events, thus developing their financial situation. Everyone, whether a CEO, an educator, a policymaker, or a concerned citizen, can affect the situation. With collective effort and determination, we can ensure it works for everyone, not for a select few. An advanced economy depends on the efforts of a whole nation. Let Sarah's story and countless others guide you to actively shape a balanced, fair, and thriving society for all. Embrace the challenge and begin your journey to make the world a better place. Key points 2. A fragile balance between democracy and capitalism. Many have perceived the economy as a predictable and controlled machine for many years. The Long Depression and the Great Depression pushed society to believe they could tame it. Agencies like the Federal Reserve Board and the Congressional Budget Office fortified this belief, attempting to predict and guide economic behaviors. Roger L. Martin and his team from the Martin Prosperity Institute devoted their research to democratic capitalism in America. The institute focused on the vast majority, intentionally leaving out the top 10% earners. They captured the sentiments and thoughts of those earning between $25,000 and $110,000 annually. Their results revealed a total disconnect and dissatisfaction. As the research team conversed with regular Americans from diverse occupations, a pattern emerged. Many felt the economy wasn't on their side. More concerning was the increasing detachment from politics. They described it as a never-ending game of contention with little getting done. They knew they should stay involved, but lacked confidence that their efforts would bring positive change. Democracy thrives when every citizen feels seen and heard. Throughout the years, Americans have supported capitalism because it led to economic progress for most citizens. But that progress has stalled in recent years, and it's worrisome. If people feel capitalism isn't serving them, they may lean toward an alternative system, thus undermining or destroying the current order altogether. We shape our buildings, and afterward, our buildings shape us. Winston Churchill. Historical context adds another layer of comprehension. The Great Depression was a monumental phase in American economy history, but Roger L. Martin's analysis adds nuance to its understanding. While this period saw banks collapsing and employment rates crashing, its impact on middle incomes was less prolonged than today's stagnated economy. Interestingly, during the Depression, the wealthiest took a more significant hit than the average Joe. It brings to light an intriguing point. In the late 1980s, the poorer you were, the more the American economy's growth benefited you. Balance, not perfection, is the cornerstone of a strong economy. An imperative lesson from this analysis is that striving for an impeccable economy visualized as a flawless machine could be counterproductive. Such a narrow pursuit leaves the system vulnerable, especially to those intending to exploit it. The answer isn't chasing an unattainable economic utopia, but focusing on consistent improvement. Key point 3. The underpinnings of American capitalism. What is capitalism? This system ensures that most resources are in private hands and allocated based on supply and demand. Understanding it requires defining some models that have long shaped its businesses and public policies. Take, for instance, the customer loyalty model, which drives companies to retain their existing customers rather than continually acquiring new ones. Then there's the educational cause and effect model, which holds schools and teachers accountable for student outcomes, since tax dollars significantly fund them. At the government level, the computer forecasting model, pioneered by Otto Eckstein, allows Congress to predict the fiscal implications of legislation. It emphasizes a machine-like view of the economy shared by many businesses. Diving into mathematics, the Gaussian distribution model, or a bell curve, inspired by Carl Friedrich Gauss, dominates various fields. It describes phenomena as diverse as human height and weight and the variations in manufactured products. This model helps us understand how we expect the economy to work, with most people in the middle class and incomes improving steadily over time. As John Sterman points out, while these models offer simplified versions of reality, they all have limitations. They project certain aspects, ignore others, and are not always accurate. Nonetheless, the power of modeling is undeniable. Sterman emphasizes that we're continually operating from some model, often without realizing it. Models provide a simplified version of things, but the reality is always more complex. Recognizing the risks of leaning too heavily on specific economic models is essential. The Pareto distribution is a principal example of such imbalance. In the early 20th century, economist Vilfredo Pareto noted that 20% of Italian families controlled 80% of the country's land. Fast forward to today's corporate world, and a similar pattern emerges. Many managers become just another part of a vast machine facing wage stagnation. Meanwhile, in-demand CEOs and innovators earn significantly more, widening the wage gap and intensifying the imbalance in the Pareto compensation distribution. Furthermore, industry giants like Facebook and Amazon pursue dominant market positions, pushing out smaller businesses. While such dominance can offer short-term advantages for its owners, it doesn't benefit other layers of society. Thus, a comprehensive understanding of the entire system is essential rather than focusing solely on dominance or sheer efficiency. By acknowledging the risks of a skewed economy and aiming for inclusivity, we can promote a fairer share of resources and chances, creating a harmonious and thriving community for everyone. Key point 4. Nature's blueprint in economics. Contrary to the prevalent belief that the American economy operates like a predictable machine, it functions more like a dynamic, evolving natural system. This distinction is crucial. Devices have components that work predictably, while biological systems are characterized by their dynamic interactions, adaptability, and constant evolution. Just as understanding a family involves more than knowing about each member individually, comprehending the economy means grasping many interactions and relationships that define it. The collective impact of these interactions, rather than the simple sum of individual elements, shapes the system's essence. Complexity demands adaptability, not rigidity. Examples like Toys R Us and iHeartMedia highlight the unpredictable nature of the economic system. Once titans in their respective industries, these companies faced significant downturns. Contrary to the assumption that they failed because of mismanagement, the reality is more nuanced. These industry giants faced decline primarily due to their ownership by leveraged buyout or LBO firms. Such companies often acquire businesses based on their strong cash flow, only to saddle them with massive debts. Though such companies might appear well managed operationally, a high debt burden makes them vulnerable, especially when industry conditions shift unfavorably. The economy as a natural system involves 3 defining characteristics: complexity, adaptability, and systemic structure. Adhering and acting according to these integral elements will help the economy flourish independently instead of forcefully managing it. Therefore, to harness the potential of American democratic capitalism, we must shift our mindset. Instead of exerting rigid control over the economy, the aim should be to achieve equilibrium within this natural system. It entails striking a careful balance between efficiency and resilience, two factors that can shape the destiny of an enterprise. Overemphasizing one can lead to catastrophic consequences. A system overly focused on resilience but lacking efficiency will gradually weaken, eventually yielding to more adept competitors. Conversely, an efficient system without stability can collapse when facing unforeseen challenges. Balancing efficiency and resilience is the cornerstone of sustainable progress. Did you know? According to a Facts.net article from September 2023, California's best assets are people and economies. It is home to some of the world's most valuable companies, such as Apple, Facebook, Walt Disney, Chevron, and Wells Fargo. California's economy is the biggest in the United States, recording a $3,598 trillion gross state product as of 2022. Key point 5. Lessons from business and politics. In business, leaders' decisions can impact their organizations and the entire economy. Take the example of Joe's Stone Crab in Miami Beach. As America's top-grossing independent restaurant, it enjoys immense success. Remarkably, it achieves this even though it closes for several months each year due to the seasonality of the stone crab. The restaurant's resilience in an ever-changing market is a testament to the value of long-term vision and sustainable business practices. Such examples prove that executives need to see the economy not as a mere machine, but as a living, natural system. Sustainable success lies in long-term vision and adaptability. In the political realm, the emphasis should be on forward-thinking policies that resonate with the people they aim to benefit. After all, understanding and empathizing with the public can lead to more effective legislative outcomes. Canada offers a unique perspective on financial regulation. Unlike the US, which tends to enact numerous laws in response to challenges, Canada's approach is more relationship-based. During the global financial crisis, the superintendent of OSFI, the Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutions, Julie Dixon, regularly met with the CEOs of major Canadian banks to discuss regulatory matters. She emphasized the importance of informal oversight alongside strict rules. While capital requirements and activity limits are crucial, daily supervisory management is equally vital. Moreover, the Canadian financial system reflects the perspective of the economy as a natural system. The most significant financial regulation, the Bank Act, is formally reviewed every 5 years, thanks to a change made in 1992. This regularity ensures the system remains balanced and responsive without the need for major political debates. Another interesting tool U.S. policymakers could adopt from European countries like France, Italy, and Belgium is tenure-based voting rights. In these countries, shareholders receive additional voting power for every share of stock they hold for a certain period, typically more than 2 years. Therefore, while anyone can buy stocks on the stock market, long-term capital is far more valuable for a company's long-term strategy than short-term capital. In a fluctuating world, flexible policies are the cornerstone of American leaders across both business and political landscapes must cultivate economic intelligence. By embracing its multifaceted nature, championing long-term stability, and fostering inter-sector collaborations, they can carve out strategies that promise everyone a brighter, balanced future. Key point 6. Shaping tomorrow, the role of today's educators and citizens. The tale of Beth Grosso unfolds in a historic institution in Hamilton, Ontario, Central Elementary School. Founded in 1853, the school is a melting pot of diversity, with most students learning English as a second language. Grosso is a beacon for modern educators, emphasizing adaptability and resilience. Instead of following age-old methods, she inspires her students to challenge their thoughts, gain feedback, and refine their ideas. Such a strategy doesn't merely educate, it prepares young minds for a world that's always in flux, encouraging them to be critical thinkers. Unified voices can shift the mightiest tides. The everlasting problem of the education system is that it discourages integration across disciplines. as it's easier for instructors to focus solely on their field of expertise. They often teach students to break down problems into simpler components for easier understanding. Thus, areas like performance management, finance, and budgeting are addressed as separate entities, ignoring their interrelatedness. The educational system must empower students and help them perceive the world as a complex and changing entity, not a sum of its constituents. It's no longer just about imparting information. Educators must mold adaptable, questioning thinkers. A positive future for American democratic capitalism needs contribution from everyone. Roger L. Martin. From the classroom to the broader world, individual actions can steer society's direction. The Canadian tomato growers saga is a testament to this. When limited buyer options threatened them, the collective spirit of Canadian citizens swung into action, ensuring varied avenues for the growers. It underscores the citizens' ability to pivot market dynamics. Every purchase, every vote, echoes in the vast halls of democracy. For citizens to reshape democratic capitalism, they need to be actively engaged. Here's how they can influence change. Exercise purchasing power. Every dollar spent is a declaration of values. Choose products and services that reflect societal and personal ethics. Engage in collective action. Pooling together for common goals can make citizens' voices resonate louder, leading to noticeable shifts in the market and political arenas. Demand reciprocal politics. It's crucial to ensure politicians genuinely echo public sentiment, emphasizing mutual benefits. Vote with intent. Being informed and judicious in casting votes can align political direction with citizens' desires. To start making a difference, begin locally. By starting small and being persistent, every citizen can catalyze change, paving the way for a more balanced future for democratic capitalism. Conclusion. As America grapples with the future direction of its democratic capitalism, there are crucial insights and actions we must consider. The crossroads we face offer two distinct paths. One where the system's downward spiral continues, clouded by an obsession with economic efficiency, and another that opens the doors to possibility by embracing balance and adaptability. For over 250 years, democratic capitalism has been the backbone of America's growth. However, there's an urgent need to move beyond the current machine model that solely emphasizes efficiency. Instead, acknowledging that our economy operates more like a complex adaptive system can lay the foundation for a future that strikes the right balance between efficiency and resilience. Realizing a promising future isn't the task of a select few. It demands a collaborative effort